Next week is the final episode of the first season of Star Wars Resistance, but this week was part 1 of the finale. With Yeager, Doza, and most of the Aces captured, it's up to Kaz, Torra, and Neeku to rescue their friends and remove the First Order from the Colossus. But I think this episode will be remembered as the one that showed us the destruction of Hosnian Prime from a new point of view, from a personal point of view. I'm not the biggest fan of Starkiller Base in The Force Awakens at all, and the destruction of Hosnian Prime in the New Republic happens so quickly. It all feels so distant. With Alderaan and the Death Star, at least we knew that was Leia's home, and she was losing everything she loved. Kaz in Star Wars Resistance now allows us to have that moment with the Hosnian system. We get to see the destruction through his eyes, and it feels like it matters so much more. It was impactful, and hearing Hux's speech delivered through a hologram gave me chills. Seeing stormtroopers raise their fists at the deaths of billions was unsettling. I think this will be one of the most memorable moments of the show for a long time. But now that I've covered the end of the episode, let's go back through some of the other beats. Tam's storyline is still keeping up the momentum of last week's episode. The First Order still has their hooks in her, giving her the best food she's had in a while, and making sure she knows that her so-called friends didn't trust her enough to tell her who they really were. The worst part about all that is that it's mostly true. Yeager wasn't really a spy, but he might as well have been by covering for Kaz so many times and giving him preferential treatment. I'm glad Yeager got a chance to at least try to tell his side to Tam, even if she didn't buy it. From there, Tierney offers her a position in the First Order, which would fulfill her dream of becoming a pilot. I still think she'll ultimately turn it down and rejoin her friends, but I'm not overly confident. She could still join up, and I think it would be an exciting development. I hope she doesn't find out about Hosnian Prime, because I want her to make the decision on her own. I want her to choose friendship and forgiveness because it's the right thing to do, not because the other side blew up a bunch of planets. I want to talk at least a little bit about the scene with Flix and Orca. First of all, I'm just glad to see they're still around. It's been too long. But I think this is just to show how the normal citizens are dealing with the First Order occupation. They're scared and they're trying to find a way to escape. I still hope this is all leading to a major turning point for everyone who lives on the Colossus. They're all waiting around for someone else to save them, but I think they will have to stand up and fight themselves. Even if Kaz and Torra free Yeager, Doza, and the Aces, it won't be enough to stop the First Order. They're going to need help from everyone else. But if they successfully remove their oppressors, then what? They can't just stay on the Colossus. Or can they? At least one of the most exciting revelations of the episode for me was the confirmation that the station is actually a ship. I can't take credit for figuring that out. Dan on Twitter pointed it out to me first, and I saw people talking about it on Reddit, but once I got that idea in my head, it's all I wanted to happen. I have to imagine that the season finale will not only see a minor victory over the First Order, but also the flight of the Colossus, hopefully setting off to join the larger resistance, similar to the way the first season of Star Wars Rebels ended, where our heroes joined a larger rebel cell. Beyond the scenes I've talked about, there were plenty of fun moments sprinkled throughout the episode. We got to see new First Order scuba stormtroopers in a fun fight. The BB Astromech battle was funny because it reminded me of that Mario Party 2 minigame. I also appreciated that the incinerator from the previous episode's Secrets and Holograms was mentioned as a way to sneak into the high tower. My only real complaint is that I wish they went ahead and aired No Escape Part 2 on the same day. I'm bummed we have to wait a week. The personal stakes for Kaz have never been higher, and I'm worried that he'll go to a dark place, but I think he'll pick himself up and remember that people are depending on him to keep it together. But even if he is successful, his triumph is going to be tainted by immense personal loss. That's everything I have to say about the penultimate episode of the season, so now it's time to let me know what you thought. Let me know your reactions and guesses on the future in the comments. If you want to see my previous episode reviews, check out this playlist here. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.